Good job today, man. It's one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Monday night, when you have Raiders Cowboys on, you have the Jets off this weekend following a loss to the Patriots. Bubs, how you doing, man?
Tyson, great to be back on. How's it going? Looking forward to talking some Jets, but doing good other than the loss. But at this point, we're just expecting it. So 8 losses on the year, probably many more to come, but happy to dive into the Jets tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting to that part of the year where they're pretty much irrelevant, right? The Jets are just a non-story. The only thing is finding things to complain about or trying to find glimmers of hope. And today, the Jets made a move. Well, not officially made a move. Aaron Glenn tomorrow's probably pissed off that this got out, but they're moving on from Justin Fields, starting Tyrod Taylor, something we probably wished happened 3 weeks ago, but Tyrod got hurt. But I think it's the only move at this point, dude, because the Jets' offense is putrid, and you really can't assess what you have in your offensive coordinator or your playmakers when your quarterback can't complete an 8-yard pass consistently. Fields is regressing. I think his days as a Jet are done, to be honest with you. I wouldn't bring him back next year. So the move to Tyrod just makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah, 100%. It had to be done. It was, like you said, probably a little too late, but it felt like they were headed in that direction going into the Bengals game. And then the knee injury, Fields goes out there, plays great in that Bengals game. Then they beat the Browns on a short week. They weren't going to make the switch then to Tyrod. Now get some extra time off since that Patriots game, so more time for Tyrod here to recover from that knee injury and get closer to 100%. But yeah, it's 100% the right move. I mean, Fields is getting worse as the season has gone on. He's gotten worse this year than what he's been in his previous 4 seasons. This is now his 3rd team in 5 years. We all know what Fields is. He's not getting any better. And the offense is a problem because of it. And you're spot on with the Tyrod assessment. Is Tyrod the answer? No. Is he the savior? No. Are they going to win 7 games in a row because Tyrod's under center? No. But you need to find out what you have in Tanner Engstrand, find out more about this scheme. And you also need to find more about these receivers, specifically, the new pieces you brought in A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie. You need to have a quarterback that can run a competent NFL offense, that can stretch the ball downfield, that's not going to be afraid to take chances downfield, to see what you have in these wide receivers. Arian Smith, another one. He's open. There's so many games where you watch back some of these clips of tape. He's wide open, and Fields just can't get him the football. So Tyrod's going to take chances, and they're going to call a game that allows Tyrod to take chances because they're going to have more trust in him than Justin Fields. So it's 100% the right decision at this point in the season.
No, very well said. And that's the one thing. You made the trade for Mechie. You made the trade for A.D. Mitchell. You have Arian Smith. Run an offense so you can see what these guys can actually do, because you want to identify your building blocks for next year. This is all like an audition now. Like, this is all audition tape. Like, show us what you can do in this offense. Either you're part of the, either part of the answer or you're part of the problem. There's no in-betweens. So now, if you have a quarterback that can actually throw the football, like a screen pass, play action pass, all just a basic NFL offense, that's already an upgrade. Now, I respect Justin. I'm not hating on Justin Fields. He's a great dude. He tried to do the right thing. It just didn't work. He took a shot. It didn't work out. Don't keep doubling down on it. You got to move on from him. And to the question here, it's, well, when Tyrod gets hurt, because he always gets hurt, then what? Yeah. Here's my answer, Brady Cook. Mm-hmm. I genuinely don't care anymore, dude. Let's see what Brady Cook can do too. You never know, because Tyrod does get hurt. He can throw the football. Justin Fields can't throw anymore, dude. That's what it's. We're to that point now where we made fun of Zach Wilson for how long? He's actually worse than Zach Wilson. Think about that. Yeah. Getting 100 yards passing is like an accomplishment right now for the Jets. That can't be the standard week in and week out.
Yeah, he's Zach Wilson with a little bit more mobility. That's what it's turned into with Justin Fields. It's unacceptable. And I'm right there with you. If Tyrod gets hurt, and not even if Tyrod gets hurt, if they have 3 games left in the season and there you go 0-4 here with Tyrod and the offense is meh, and you're 2-12, 2-13, why not go to Brady Cook at that point? You have nothing to lose. The season's completely over. Go to the rookie and Brady Cook. The odds of him turning into the franchise quarterback, very, very low, but maybe he can be your backup moving forward. Maybe he shows you something going into the offseason and you say, you know what, we can kind of develop him. And maybe, like I said, he turns into a backup. And I don't want to hear the whole, oh, he's not ready yet. Can he be any worse than what we have right now? Let's see. The only way you know if he's ready is if you promote him to QB2, get more QB2 reps during practice, and give him the opportunity in the game. So I'm right there with you. Brady Cook, I think, should play at some point. Absolutely. Even if Tyrod doesn't get hurt. I wouldn't be opposed to throwing him out there, even if Tyrod's healthy the final 2 weeks of the season. But definitely in the event Tyrod gets hurt, and I'd make the move as quick as this week to promote him to QB2, Brady Cook, so he can get those reps in practice. And then eventually, in the event Tyrod goes down, he's the next man up as opposed to Justin Fields. Justin Fields, in reality, should have played his last down as a Jet. And you're spot on. It's nothing against him. He's a good dude, good teammate. We all know that. He's just not a good quarterback. It's been shown in his 4 previous seasons. It's shown again this year. I think the record is he's 16-37 as a starter. There's nothing else that needs to be said about Justin Fields.
No, it's it. Like you tried it, but like I don't bring him back next year either. I take the cap hit and be like, all right, we need to find another veteran quarterback. Yeah. We draft a guy, whatever else, and we all move on because the experience isn't working. Like you've got to get this offense up to an NFL standard, and right now you're not doing that. So you got to find the pieces that can do it. And I understand the whole Aaron Rodgers aspect of it. He wasn't the right guy at the right time for the Jets. He just wasn't. They tried Fields. We all bought into it, kind of lightning in the bottle, take a shot. It didn't work out. Fine. You own the mistake and you move on from it. It's not like it wasn't like the Jets had a plethora of options at quarterback. Once you move on from Rodgers, there wasn't a lot to do. So like this was the youngest guy that had the most potential that you took a flyer on. But now it's like, okay. Yeah. And to me, it's like it's almost be disrespectful to have him as number 2. I'm like, just make it like Russell Wilson with the Giants. You make him number 3 and be like, there you go, dude. They move Jameis up. Now you move, you move everybody up and like just chill out. You made, just enjoy your money here at the Jets. Yeah, and that's it. There's nothing else to do with this.
Yeah, and look, going back to the whole Rodgers discussion, this was the right move to make. Like looking back on it, sure, hindsight's always 20/20, and you say, it ultimately didn't work out. But in the moment, this was the best option as opposed to going out and bringing in another older veteran. Yep. Because the whole point behind the Fields thing was best case scenario, you find that Sam Darnold resurgence, that Baker Mayfield resurgence, and he turns into your long-term piece. Worst case scenario, you're drafting a quarterback in 2026. He's not very good, and you move on. We've hit the worst case scenario. It is what it is, but yeah, it's just where we are. It didn't work out. So you get set for 2026, and you've got to hope that this general manager, Glenn, and the rest of this staff can find the right quarterback no matter where they're picking.
And I think I saw Lawrence comment which says, very surprised Glenn did this. He seemed desperately trying to keep Fields propped up. I think the Tyrod Taylor injury had a large part to do that too, where they couldn't play Tyrod. I think they probably wanted to play him against the Bengals. He was hurt. Fields plays great. Like, I'm not going to bench him now off of this game. They win again, but it's like, listen, the Patriot game was as bad as it gets. And now you have no choice because you got to stand in front of your team and say, okay, boys, let's watch the film. Let's watch tape. And when you see how bad he's playing, you can't talk about competition. You can't talk about best chance to win because they know you're lying. You're lying right to their face. So he's like, all right, Tyrod's healthy. We turn the page. I think everybody understands it. The players understand it. They have respect, but they're trying to still win games, whether the fans like it or not. And Tyrod helps you do that. I understand he's limited and all this, but it's just better to that. I have Tyrod starting, Cook there, and we move on. And Fields can be done for his career. And I'm fine with that because now it's like everybody's trying to assess, like, are the Jets as a team getting better? And dude, I always say this to everybody, winning is a great deodorant. Now, you look at the game Brownlee played against the Patriots, it wasn't good. A lot of penalties, all this. He did the same thing the week before, but the Jets won. Nobody's talking about, it's an off game. Don't worry about it. No big deal. He does against the Patriots when they lose. Oh, this guy, man. He's just like a Titans. You see how it changes so quickly where like just the outcome of the game changes everybody's perception of things. And now it's like, well, what's Coach Glenn? When he won 2 games in a row, like, hey, this team, they're finding ways to win. Special teams is better. This is better. That's better. You see the Patriots where they self-destruct and make all kinds of dumb mistakes and just beat themselves. Oh, is he the right guy for the job? It's so crazy. But the question's being asked, are the Jets after, 2-8, after 10 games, is he getting better as a coach? And you could say less penalties. The penalties are definitely improving. They're making adjustments. I think the defense is still grossly underachieving.
Oh, it's terrible.
But that's a Wilks thing. The offense, you see some good, you see some bad, but then you're like, do we even know what it is because the quarterback is awful? So how do you assess if Glenn's actually getting better right now or not?
Yeah, it's tough. And Jarvis Brownlee Jr., you're spot on. He's been awful these last 2 games. It's funny. I think a lot of Jet fans, I've probably been a victim of it as well. The first 3 weeks, we were kind of ready to crown him, replacement for Michael Carter. And I get he's playing more outside with all the injuries. He's more of a nickel. He's been playing outside. But even the one play in the slot on the 3rd down, I think was it Diggs that might have he just got beat cleanly. It was terrible, horrible rep. And then the penalties, undisciplined. The penalties were a little discouraging on Thursday night. I think they finished with 7. That was one of their highest marks of these last couple of games. Mm-hmm. I will say, though, when you look at Thursday night and you look at recently, I do think there is small improvements. I would say with Glenn specifically Thursday night, they could have easily gotten blown out in that game. They could have easily gotten embarrassed. Like, as much as that's how low the bar is right now, they didn't get embarrassed. He had the team ready to play. They went out there. They had a good first drive.
But hold on, to stop you quick. An undermanned team, when you look at what they had on offense, they had nothing on offense because everybody was hurt.
Oh, that wide receiver room is – if you would have told any Jet fan that'd be the wide receiver room at the beginning of the season, I think we'd all just question what the heck went wrong in the year. Despite all that, though, against a team that won 8 in a row going into the game, a team that's clearly more talented, a team that has an MVP quarterback, all of that considered on the road, short week, I thought he had the team ready to play. Like, the team was playing. They were feisty. They were playing hard. The defense had their issues. 3rd down is – and the Wilks conversation we can get into here kind of once we move on from Glenn, because I got some thoughts on him as well and potentially moving on. But even the defense, though, as the game went on, they started to get a couple stops. You had that stop to start the 3rd quarter, and it looked like the offense was starting to drive, and then Fields had that terrible intentional grounding, one of the worst I've ever seen watching football in my life. And that's saying something because we've seen some terrible quarterback play. And then he had the fumbled snap, and just why not just jump on it? So a lot of it was the bad quarterback play, and you even did have the 180 Mitchell drop. But all in all, from Glenn's standpoint, like, he had the team ready to go. They could have easily just caved in and lost this game 31-6, 35-17, whatever. It was a game in the 4th quarter. And for where this team's at, I think that's improvement, because you look at the previous game against a top team in the division, go back to week 2 against Buffalo, they got blown out 30-10 in that game at home.
Yeah.
You needed to see improvement from that standpoint. That Buffalo game was a disaster. New England wasn't a disaster. It wasn't a total embarrassment. There was some signs that you could take from a coaching standpoint that this team's still playing for him, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. Like, they came out with the opening drive, they scored. Like, all right, they had a blueprint, they had a plan. They're playing hard, they're not quitting. They're dealing with a tremendous amount of adversity with the injuries. I mean, guys are dropping left and right. You're signing a guy, he's playing right off the bat. So to me, the defense is, I don't know, like, the defense is disappointing to me, because you say if it's 3rd and 5, they're giving a 6-yard cushion. 3rd and 8, they're giving a 9-yard cushion. Like, the guys are running in space, can't do certain things. Then you're like, all right, well, guys are getting injured left and right too. AZ Thomas comes out, next guy comes up. So it's like there's so many different things that are trying to hold you back from trying to evaluate. But I think the one thing you're saying is completely true is everybody seems to have bought into Aaron Glenn. They're all playing hard for him. Yep. They've done a good job of silencing most of the noise. You don't get a lot of the social media nonsense anymore. You don't hear any leaks like, Glenn's losing the locker room. They're all they're still fighting and trying to figure it out. And they're just undermanned. I mean, they traded away Sauce, they traded away Quinnen, who's playing tonight. Like, there's a lot going on here, but it's like, okay, and you played a very good Patriot team who kind of played down to their level and kept them in the game, but it wasn't one of those 45-3 embarrassments. You're like, oh my God, we're that team again. Mm-hmm. I think my biggest problem with Glenn has been his loyalty to Justin Fields.
100%.
And now he's moved on from that. So it's like, all right, maybe he's identified that it's no longer going to work, or Tyrod's actually healthy, but his defending and handling of Fields has bothered me a lot, but he moved on from him now. So now it's his next progression, how he handles Tyrod, and then how he handles his quarterback position for the rest of the year. Like, does he go back to Justin Fields again, or does he give Brady Cook a chance? And when Tyrod does play, did he open the playbook up and say, listen, throw the football. You're 2-8, dude. Nobody cares. Like, be aggressive. Go out and, blitz more. Put these guys in position to see what they can actually do. Because why not? Give them game tape that you can review in the offseason. Like, all right, now we know how Malachi Moore fits here. Now we know what this guy, what your pieces can actually do, instead of waiting until next year to figure it out. I hope he actually does that. Like for me, like Alan Lazard shouldn't play again forever. Him, Tyler Johnson, like
Clemens.
Pritchett, like why not Pritchett? Why not Skinner? Why not like bring them all up, dude, and let them all figure it out?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And just on the Lazard point, I don't even know why he's active.
Me neither.
He didn't get any snaps on Thursday, but why is he up not getting any snaps and Brandon Smith and these other guys are rotting on the practice squad?
Makes no sense.
And I'm totally right there with you. That is one of the biggest issues I have. Nobody's saying that Brandon Smith or Pritchett or any of these guys is going to be the number 2 of the future next to Garrett. But Lazard's he's not what Lazard is, and he doesn't even play. It's just Oscar the Grouch just commented. Yeah, he's wasting a roster space. It's spot on with that. He's taking up room. He doesn't even play. So I'm right there with you. Elevate one of those guys and then see what you have in the secondary. You hope AZ Thomas can come back, continue to see what he looks like off the concussion. Thursday night was too early to clear the protocol, even with Malachi Moore as well. But to Glenn's point about Fields, I'm right there with you. I don't love the loyalty. And it's been that way ever since they signed him, if we're being honest. Everything was written in paper or written in pencil, right? That was Glenn's comments throughout the offseason about the depth chart and the whole Tippmann, Josh Meyer center battle. That was a big headline. But one thing that wasn't was Fields getting the starting job. And throughout this whole thing, he has defended Fields to the point where that Denver game, when he got pressed by Costello about making a change, he said, "I was a dumb question." And then a week later, he's benching him. And then you go to Thursday night, look at the film. I think he did some pretty good things. And then a day after you backtrack, I don't love that. I don't love the looking at the film.
He's been backtracking since his press conference.
Yeah.
Since his opening press conference, all the things he said, he's been clarifying. We're going to compete this year. We're going to
team that fans can be proud of. He said that he didn't say that this year, but about this year's team, but he did. You go back, the press conference, I think the Friday right before the Steelers game, he said that's what he wants. And then I think it was 3 weeks ago, he said that he didn't mean that for this season. He meant that moving forward. It's like he's done a lot of backtracking.
He's done a lot of backtracking and embarrassing stuff because he's like, oh, we want to compete this year. Then it's like, oh, big ships turn slow. No, dude, but I think once the losing started piling up, he's like, oh, we got to pivot here. You're pivoting with your excuses, but you're not pivoting with the way you're handling your team. So the handling of Fields has been bothersome, but they moved on from that. You're good. And now it's like you look at, I'm wondering at some point if he gets more involved with the defense where it's like, all right, listen, what Wilks is doing here, he tries to be so like the defense is very predictable. They're very sloppy time. Some of the coverages make absolutely no sense to me, and I don't know enough about football to say change that. But I'm wondering if Glenn starts getting a little more hands-on there, saying, hey, you know what? Let's make this change because Wilks is probably not going to be here next year. I'm almost like he's going to be one and done, dude. Right? It's got to be because even as bad as the Jets defense has been, they still had talent prior to the the trades of Sauce and Quinnen. Yeah. And you just can't continue this. You can't.
No, the third, I've never seen a defense give up so many third and longs where guys are just running wide open.
Yep.
And there's no adjustment. And you look at all the top quarterbacks they've faced, they've torn them apart because there's no adjustment from Wilks. It's been the same thing. There's not enough balance of man and zone. There's not enough, disguising coverages. Everything's so vanilla. Everything's so simple. And these quarterbacks just read it and destroy it. To my point with Wilks, he has to be fired. He has to be a one and done. Yep. Unfortunately, you look back at his career here recently, and you look at his career in general, he hasn't been in spots very long. He's very quick in and out. Like he was a one and done in San Fran. And then last year he was out of the NFL. Wilks we've talked about this a lot, but it was the right thought, wrong hire, wrong person in terms of bringing that veteran on the staff. Yep. And I really, really hope that Glenn takes a page out of Dan Campbell's playbook because Dan Campbell, after year one, fired Anthony Lynn, the offensive coordinator. And then I think it went after Anthony Lynn, it was Ben Johnson. I'm hoping that Glenn fires Wilks, kind of takes that page out of, okay, I feel like I've hit out of 2 of my 3 coordinators because Banjo's been excellent. What he's done with the special teams. Yep. You've got something there. You like what you have in Engstrand, but it's still, let's see him with an actual quarterback. Let's see what he can do actually developing a rookie and what competent quarterback play can look like in the system. But you feel there's some positives there. But you've got to move on from Wilks. You can't continue. Yeah. And there has to be some sort of scapegoat for this too. You win 3 games in year 1, you're just going to completely run it back. It can't happen. And I'll tell you what, you talk about veterans on this staff, not to just because Wilkes is still here and we don't know for sure if he'll be fired, but if they completely blow it up in Cleveland, I look immediately at Jim Schwartz as a possible defensive coordinator to come in here right away if they decide to completely gut that thing. As a possible option. I know that's kind of looking too far down the road because Wilkes is still here, but
I agree with you. You need I think you need a much different, I would do that. I'd love that move. Change defensive coordinator. I'd also look at the offensive staff as well. I'm like, okay, we have a year of Angstrand. We have a year
Charles
of London. If we're going to take this chance to I think the Jets want Mendoza. You have to trade to get Mendoza. If you're going to go that rookie quarterback, I'd add more pieces of the offensive staff. That you need a legitimate guy that's been there, done that in terms of developing quarterbacks. Not watch the guy do it. Actually, he's done it. Now, and I remember in the past they mentioned Todd Haley as a guy that could be in here. All these, you need that senior offensive-minded guy to be there. That's to help out Engstrand and help these guys figure it out. Because I don't really feel comfortable with what they have right now. They got away with it this year because you have Fields and Tyrod. Yeah. But once you start screwing around with a young rookie, your prized possession, that's when the problems really start.
Yeah, I think Charles London, the quarterback's coach, he's one that you look at as a potential casualty too, where I never understood the hire in the first place because he's a running back's background. He came into this year only 4 years of quarterback coach experience. He played running back. He was a running backs coach his entire career. And then he switched to quarterbacks, I think, 2021 around there. He was with Desmond Ridder, Matt Ryan at the later stage of his career in Atlanta. Then he was with Levis in Tennessee. He has no track record, and then they bring him in here. I wouldn't want him working with a rookie. I agree with you 100%. They talked about Todd Haley potentially, like you said, somebody a veteran who's called plays before, whatever, head coach, OC, whatever, somebody like that to come in with a rookie quarterback. Because the reality is with this entire staff, the clock starts now. This year is a freebie. But now the clock starts with Glenn and Muji and this entire staff. So you get this 1 year, you see what pieces on this staff you like, what you don't like. Now you make the necessary changes, and now you can't make mistakes. You got to hire the right people now, because especially on the offensive staff, you can't. That was one of the big issues with the whole Zach Wilson thing, is they gave him a rookie offensive coordinator. There was no experience there. I know obviously the tragic Greg Knapp incident, but after that, they didn't pivot correctly. I think it was Calabrese had no experience. Not saying that Zach Wilson would still be here.
And they brought in his own personal coach for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Not to go down the whole Zach Wilson rabbit hole, but the point is you've got to have somebody that's been there, done that with a legitimate track record. So, and keep an eye out for some of these, staffs that completely blow it up here at the end of the year to potentially pluck away from there. I even talked about Anthony Lynn. I know I brought up him getting fired, but maybe he becomes a veteran consultant, somebody on this offensive staff.
They should have hired to begin with.
Yeah, they should have hired somebody. It really should have been the veteran should have came on the offensive staff. I mean, Scott Turner's kind of that was an OC, but something a little bit more than that. They got to have
established. I think you need in that, and that's something it's again, you've made a really good point where it was next year's when you start getting assessed. This year was like a wash. It was you want to get rid of bad contracts, bad players, try to figure out yourself, learn on the job, and establish your culture and your identity. Next year, if you add in top 3 pick, say it's Mendoza, or you go get whoever, Jalen Hurts or whoever you're going to get now. Okay, fine. But then next year's not a 2-15 season. Next year, you've got to actually start winning the games you lost this year. You've got to get in that 6, 7, 8 win range, because you've got to show some kind of progress, because there's still a lot of talent in this team. And you can't keep, it's like you can't keep, maybe next year. This isn't a 5-year rebuild. Teams every year in the NFL find ways to turn around in 2 years. You're giving an arsenal of draft picks, an arsenal of a ton of cap space, make moves, quality moves, and get impact players. And that's what they have to do. And then you see this year's your redshirt year. Next year, you got to see legitimate progress and development. All right, now we see what goes on here with the defense. Now we're seeing what Aaron Glenn's true vision is, and Muji's for that matter.
Yeah, and you can't also go into next year with all these draft picks that you have and then see no real development out of some of these guys in this class, like AZ Thomas, Malachi Moore getting better, and then the 2026 class, you have to see good signs out of them early on next year. because if you win 4 games and the rookies aren't playing well and you still have issues on the staff, you can't possibly defend bringing them back for 2027 with 3 first-round picks. So the clock starts. It's ticking. This was your year one of, you know, kind of your trial, and now you got to hit on these different areas.
And even to Lauren's point, like, listen, like this was you're kind of revamping your offensive line. Now you got Olu, you got Membu, you like Tippmann at guard. That's fine. If you're going to re-sign John Simpson, go for it. But then what are you going to do at center? Maybe bring a legitimate center, a higher level center. Like they have to have a true vision to upgrade all these areas and get like just protect this young quarterback. That's my biggest fear next year is like don't leave any stone unturned here. You have to invest all your money in offense. Okay, do it then. Get your receiver. Get 2 receivers. Get a center. Do all this, but give the team or the quarterback a spot where he's gonna be like, all right, he can drop back and not get hit in 3 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one of the things you look at this offense. You love the 2 bookend tackles. I mean, Membu's a beast. Olu, after a little bit of a slow start, has started to really come around, and I think that's about on par because if you look at Olu last year, he only really started 6 games at left tackle because he started the year playing right guard, then right tackle. It wasn't until Tyron Smith went down that he got started. So really, this is kind of like an extension of his rookie season. He continues to get better. Membu's been awesome. So you feel good about your 2 bookend tackles. The interior, you're going to have some questions with some of the contracts and Simpson. And do you even entertain bringing AVT back at all? Yeah. How do you handle the whole Tippmann Myers thing? Do you then keep Tippmann at guard, which I would because he's just better at guard. And then, you have your number 1 in Garrett. You feel good about Mason Taylor. We'll see what happens with Brees, but there's a lot of the depth that you need to fill out with wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Yeah. And that's hopefully one of AD Mitchell or John Mechie can maybe be your wide receiver 3, but we'll see. I mean, 7 games left. They've got a lot of proving to do here over these next 7, especially AD Mitchell, who can get open, just can't catch the football.
Yeah, I mean, the drops are terrible. But then at the same time, you're like, all right, he just joined the Jets. He's just getting the offense, the quarterback. I'm like, I'm not gonna roast him now. Like, oh, this is why they trade him because he sucks. Give the kid a few games to get acclimated and get caught up to speed everything, and then assess him. I think where things get really interesting is I think every Jet fan right now, every Saturday is watching college football and watching all the quarterbacks. And it's like, whoa, here's this guy, here's that guy. And now it's like Mendoza is like the guy everybody wants. Like sell your soul for Mendoza. And as of right now, the Jets are not in the spot to get him. If they want to get him, they've got to trade up. And where it gets more interesting is I think the guys behind them are probably going to go back to school. And if that's the case, this draft gets crazy because if you don't think Mendoza is the end all be all for your organization, where he is your can't miss guy, then you don't trade to get him. It's okay. You go wide receiver, pass rusher in the first round, and look at other guys later on the draft. Okay, we draft a young guy as a second round pick or whatever, and then maybe next year we get a quarterback. So it's like the Jets plan at quarterback can get kind of interesting, man, where it may not be that top 3 guy that we all want. It could be somebody completely different.
Yeah, the 2026 quarterback class is not going, I think, as planned when we set out at the beginning of this offseason. And that was my whole thing last year, too, when everybody was like, don't take a quarterback this year, don't take a quarterback this year. Not from the Jets standpoint, just from like an NFL standpoint. You never know year to year what these guys are going to do in college. It's all projecting at the end of the day. I mean, Klubnik fell off, Nussmeier fell off, Aller got hurt, and even prior to that wasn't playing great. Who even knows what his future is now with Penn State with Franklin gone. And then Mendoza, you kind of went into the year and he wasn't – now he's skyrocketed. Dante Moore's put up a big year as well with Oregon. And now 2027 looks like a great class all around, but even quarterbacks as well, whether, Manning coming out, you have Julian Sain from Ohio State. So, yeah, it's very interesting how they approach the quarterback. Or do they take a chance on a veteran and use some of these assets and trade for somebody similar to the Detroit thing with Jared Goff, where they make that trade and they hit not so much the Jared Goff level, somebody that's probably better than Jared Goff was when the Lions traded for him. But, I'm sure the Joe Burrow trade conversations have already leaked into the fan base. But
it's like, I think the names now that everybody's talking about, it's Kyler Murray, Mac Jones. And then, dude, I was like, like I live down the Jersey Shore, so I get a lot of Eagles news here, a lot of like
Yeah, Tanner McKee.
yeah, but then
The
it's
other
like
one.
they're all hating on Jalen Hurts. Like, oh, Jalen Hurts is killing our offense, killing this, killing that. And I'm like, dude, I'd take him in a heartbeat. I'd have no problem whatsoever taking him. Like, you guys are what, 8-2, just won the freaking Super Bowl, and you hate your quarterback. Like, give me that problem. I'll take that problem off your hands. Absolutely no. Like, but a part of me thinks that Aaron Glenn's fastest way to success is having that veteran guy to just say whatever, Jalen Hurts or whatever. But like, and that's their plan going forward. Like, listen, we can draft a guy in the 4th round as a project, develop him, all this stuff, but our instant impact to win and win now is going to be a veteran. I'm all out on Kyler Murray. I have no interest whatsoever in Kyler Murray. Mac Jones is interesting because he's learning from Kyle Shanahan, and like that's like where you resurrect your career. And he's played really good football, but it gets interesting, man. I just had that weird feeling the Jets are going the veteran route. I do.
Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with Kyler. Number one, I don't think he's not very good and he can't stay healthy. So it's not like, not to keep bringing up Burrow, but the whole anti-Burrow is he can't stay healthy.
Yep.
But when he's healthy, he's an elite quarterback. Murray can't stay healthy, and when he is healthy, he's not that good.
Yep.
So I want nothing to do with that. Yeah, you get into the Tanner McKees, the Mac Jones. It's McKee is interesting just because Philly pumps out so much good young talent, so you are kind of curious there, learning that offense. But I don't know about Mac Jones. It's interesting because you do look at Darnold, and he spent the year with Shanahan, then he went to Minnesota, and now Seattle. I know not a great time to talk about Darnold coming off the 4-interception day yesterday, but his rebound started with spending that season with Shanahan.
100%.
So is that kind of the path that Mac Jones is taking? Definitely possible.
Yeah, and I don't think Brock Purdy's going to work, but that's kind of where you're at, unless there's some name that surprised you. To me, it's like I think the Jalen Hurts thing is just interesting, but there's still one of the NFC. I don't know if that ever happens, but I would do that. But that's kind of where the Jets are at. And the other thing is just I'm like, I'm like everybody else. I watch the college games. I watch Mendoza now because we all have to, and you analyze them. I've been watching Simpson, been watching more. And right now, it's like I get the hype around Mendoza. I get the whole Heisman thing. Me personally, I vote for Jeremiah Love because I'm biased. That's cool. That's who I am. But it's like, do the Jets want to mortgage their future for him? If you're the 5th pick in the draft or 4th pick in the draft, do you want to trade him again? Do you want to make him that guy? Or do you say, you know what, we respect him, but we're going to go a different direction. We're going to go best wide receiver at 4, best pass rusher. They need both, or defensive tackle, whatever you want to do. Take that plan. It gets fascinating when the arguments start happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole challenge with Muji, and we'll learn a lot about Muji and Glenn is how do you use these assets? Do you use them to, let's say, trade for a veteran or bring in a veteran and then build around that veteran? Or do you love a quarterback enough to trade up? And if you do love that quarterback enough, you've got to be right. Because if you're trading up to, let's say, number 2 or number 1,
Bingo.
And you're giving up some picks from 27, you've got to be correct. Like, you can't swing and miss on that. So
100%.
That's also kind of where the pressure falls in. And you're gonna know right away if they were right on one of these rookies. You just know pretty quickly. I feel like next year.
I get leery when all of a sudden people went from like within 2 weeks, like Mendoza's all right to he's a slam dunk kid.
Yeah, now he's great.
The Jets got to sell their soul, and I'm like, like we've been down this path before. And I listen. I watch a lot of the stuff you see.
Oh, he's a stud. Yeah,
he's definitely. You see good things, bad things, whatever. But it's like they're young. Like you're not drafting the player. It's what's playing today. You're drafting for the player you want to become in the future. Like what he's going to be down the line. Like he's not a final product now. But is that enough to say you're our franchise guy in this market where we already had Darnold, Zach Wilson, Geno, all of these guys that come here and crashed and burned? Or do you say, you know what? Use the draft to restock all young talent at the skill position players, and then go get the veteran quarterback and start winning games much sooner, which I just had that feeling they're going to do that. So it's going to be interesting. It's an interesting conversation, but as the season plays out, we got to watch a ton of college football.
Yeah, definitely. And you do wonder if, because the way Glenn is trying to build this, or the way at least he's portraying, the fan base doesn't have patience for it, right? Is the big ships take turn to slow, take slow to turn, don't let go to the rope. A lot of those things, like this is 15 years of no playoffs. They don't have patience. So you do start to wonder if they kind of feel that a little bit and say, we can't afford another 4-win
I don't think
season.
you can't rebuild your organization like that though.
No,
When
but-
you start with what the fans say, you'll be saying
Yeah.
what the fans. They always say that because it's like
Yeah.
you have to have your vision, have a strong conviction about it. This is what we're doing. Just trust the process. But then once fans see it, like just say they draft Drew Aller, which I don't want Drew Aller, but just say they go out and they get Mac Jones, they sign Mac Jones, and they draft Drew Aller later on. All right, they have a developmental quarterback, they have a veteran quarterback. They're trying to piece it together and try to figure it out. And you still have flexibility for 2027.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you're giving yourself many shots at quarterback, not pigeonholing yourself into one guy where it's like the one savior. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even like they could go, I mean, Mendoza more, even Ty Simpson's another one that's up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You could take somebody too later on in the draft as well, just a flyer. And then
Well, it's a big difference, dude. If you get a top 3 pick, the expectation
Yeah.
for all of us is this better be a slam
He's gotta
dunk
be the
home
guy.
run.
Yes.
You take a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, you're like, all right, project, take a shot,
Yeah.
and by week 13 or 12, we're going to want to see him. But the expectation isn't going to be the next Dak Prescott. It's going to be like, well, let's see, maybe you get something. But it's like you still have the ability to go the following year to draft another quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have those assets to build around them too. There's no excuse for them not to, whether it's a veteran or whether it's with the draft capital that they have, some of the talent that is on this team already, there's no excuse for this to blow up if they do it the right way in terms of hitting on the quarterback, finding the right one, and then building around them. Because there is a lot of building blocks already in place, whether that's the veteran or the rookie, whatever. And then even 2027, what you can get out of that draft too. And
I mean,
it's just I'm very curious on how they use those assets.
But
With
the thing is, the
3 picks they
blueprint
have
to
in
win
27.
the blueprint to win the NFL, the Jets are already doing. Play good special teams.
Yeah.
You got to play good defense, which they haven't done this year, and run the football. If you're bringing back Brees or your franchise tag, whatever you're doing, like there's components here. What you like the basic blueprint to win is that. Then you add in a quarterback and you do more things. So it's like next year can't be a wash. Like next year, like, oh, you know what? We only had 2 wins this year. Next year we get 4 wins. It's growth. No, it's not.
No.
Like that's where I get frustrated, where it's like that whole slow rebuild. No, you have to be a lot more aggressive. And this is where you rely on your coaching staff to coach guys up and have them, exceed expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've got to win. They've got to show significant progress next season, and that progress has to turn into wins. It's one thing for this year to show progress and not have wins follow, but next year you win 3 games this year, you win 4 games next year. You can't defend bringing Glenn back after 7 wins in 2 seasons. I don't care about the 3 picks in 2027. So that's the challenge, is what do they feel is best? Like, do they love this quarterback class enough to draft somebody? Do they want to trade for somebody? It's very interesting.
And this is a good point from Jay-Z. He goes, half the NFL sucks. Let's be honest. A 7-win season should not be hard to achieve. Look at all the teams that are turning it around. The Jaguars, the Panthers, like teams all across the NFL are finding for the Jets to win 5 games has been like a miracle for us. That can't be the case anymore. So this year you get your learning curve year, the excuses, the trades, this, that, and all the other stuff. Next year, those are all gone. Like the expectation is be more competitive.
Yeah, rebuilds don't last forever. If you do it right, which the Jets obviously haven't done, but if you do it right, it's a retool. You look at the Patriots, like you said, the Jaguars, who else? There's a ton. Even the Colts. The Colts have now figured it out with Daniel Jones. The Broncos is a quick turnaround with Sean Payton. Yeah, Panthers, like you said as well, another team. It doesn't take years to rebuild. It shouldn't take years to rebuild. It's unacceptable how long this has taken, and you could build a competitive team in just 1 to 2 years, and that needs to happen. And there's no excuse for why this team can't just 9 wins. Can you win more games than you lose in a season? Is it that hard to ask? That was the whole example with Douglas. Is that 2022 draft class? Everyone talked so much about how good it was, how great it was for the Jets, but they were the only team in that top 5 that still hasn't made the playoffs, because Detroit's made the playoffs since Jacksonville. The Giants, I know, are a mess now, but they still had 1 playoff appearance under Dable. The Jets have, and I think there might have been 1 more team mixed in there, but they all made the playoffs since. The Jets are the only ones that haven't. So, yeah,
I think I got the hiccup.
You've got to show progress. There's no, especially when you see teams like New England now jump you again. You know, you've got to get to their level, and it can't take another 2 years away from being 2 years away where you stink next year. Okay, don't worry. We have a ton of picks in 27.
Trust the process.
And then you stink in 27. It's like, okay, we got to see all these draft picks through. Give us 2028. And now it's 3 years from now. And it's, you got to win. What's games.
Up, man?
Hey, guys. How are you?
I saw you drive around. I'm like, dude, this dude called in and he's driving at the same time.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I was taking care of some errands and I figured I'd park somewhere. How's everybody been? It's been an interesting season, huh? Hasn't it?
Interesting is a good word.
Yeah, I have to get rid of my Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner jersey, so that's just been sitting inside my bedroom. Might just donate it or something. Who knows? But yeah. Man, dude, it's been crazy. Like, if everything would have been perfect this year, we'd probably be sitting at like 6 wins because it's been like at least 4 games where it's like within reason that you could win. The Pats game was disappointing, but I don't know. Didn't it feel like we were kind of like fighting like a bigger weight class in a way? Like, it didn't seem like it was like out of reach per se. It was just like a lot of like really crucial like.
Well, I thought the Patriots played down to our level where they give the Jets plenty of opportunities to stay in the game and make plays, and they like this 80 Mitchell dropped like 3 passes. Like,
and then
things happen. It's just
the Patriots had some drops. Like Diggs had those 2 drops on 3rd down, which could have been even worse for the Jets on 3rd down if he would have caught those. But the Jets, they hurt themselves too because you had the Brandon Stevens penalty was unacceptable. You had the Jarvis Brownlee penalties.
Tony
you had
Adams.
the A.D. Mitchell drop, like you said. There was, a lot of mistakes.
To Tony Adams, Solitaris, like injuring Quantas Figures. You know, like I think I was watching, I don't know if it was BJF or anything. They're like, if you can get at least a couple of turnovers on Drake May, maybe you can kind of work with something. And we had it. And then Tony Adams fucked it up. And I was like, dude, this is just so sad. And then there was the fumble that Fields had too. It's
just fall on the ball, like fall. That's where I lost it. I'm like, you can't like. You get so tired of just poor football and stupid football. Like you try to pick up, run, just fall on the ball, dude. Live for another day. Like not hard.
It's common sense. Just to jump on it.
The crying in the closet like 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to.
But like I feel bad for him because he's given his heart and soul to the team. He realized this is his last chance to be an NFL starting quarterback, legitimate, instead of being a backup, and it's not working out, especially in this media market with this fan base where they're like, you're getting just shit on everywhere, which sucks. It does. So it's good to see him have his bounce back game against the Bengals. You feel good for him, but then the shit we saw against the Patriots, like you can't this is like less than Zach Wilson now, which is just absurd.
Even the Browns game, he didn't really feel like he made that much of an impact like he did the Bengals game. But we were just lucky enough to, Brees came through big time and everything. And
special teams.
Special teams definitely, dude. Banjo's been fucking awesome. I can't even remember the last time we've had like a kickoff return. Like it was actually really entertaining to see that. That's really working out. And then Tanner Ingstram, I don't really want to like knock him too much just because he's being hampered by just really shitty quarterback play, and Justin Fields is just, especially after that fumble and the way he's been playing, it's just, he's not it, and it sucks. I don't want to kick the guy down, but it's like, that's what's really preventing us from doing great. For Steve Wilkes, it's really disappointing, dude. Like we're giving so many points to other teams every single game. And it's like, what adjustment can really be made?
They seem to play better in the second half though. It's like late second quarter, they start to tighten things up. And then they play better in the second half. They do that. But then there's certain things like there's zones they use make no sense to me. Like they're just, and then you have there's so many new players moving around. Like all the linebackers are hurt, all the corners are hurt. So it's messy there.
And one of Brownlee's comments was interesting after the game. It wasn't a direct shot to Sherwood, but it was kind of like guys aren't lined up where there's a lot of miscommunications before the snap, a lot of communicating of guys don't know where they're supposed to be. And that's on Sherwood. He's got to have guys in the right spot.
That's on Glenn and Wilkes, though. It's been happening all season.
Yeah.
Isn't Sherwood one of our captains, too? Like, isn't he, like, supposed to be one of our...
They paid him 3 years, $45 million.
Can't be playing like that. And then it's
terrible.
Like getting paid. Yeah, he's not good at all. He had, like, that one really good season last year, and we kind of got sold bullshit, and he's not really working out. And I was kind of giving him, like, okay, maybe it's a new, like, scheme, right, for defense. It's taking time, but, like, we're like, week 10, 11? He's just not performing at all. No. At this point, it's like, I'd rather bring Quincy back. I know they're going the whole youth route, but at least Quincy got benched for like a week, and then he started playing a lot better. Yeah. So it's like, I'd bring him back.
Yeah, Quincy's looked like 2023 Quincy the last 2 games since getting benched.
Yep.
Sherwood's been a complete nobody.
I'd
He's
let
been
him go
awful.
and just take the hit. I mean, I don't even know who's going to even take him because he just hasn't been performing good. But I just let him go like Fields at this point.
You got to hope
Take your
Salah,
losses.
Ulbrich still like him.
Yeah, they were trying to take Jermaine off of us. I'm pretty sure, right? At
Yeah, the
end.
Niners.
I'm glad we kept him. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jermaine's like one of the people that actually still gives a shit. You know, he
Yep.
really wants to be here to turn it around, and I
You can see it's
respect that a lot
important to him.
from him.
But that's like
Yeah,
you like
exactly.
seeing like these younger players fighting him, Will McDonald, all the young guys really competing and getting after it. But then you just want to see more, and then they're not getting help in the middle. And then it's just like you think the scheme fails them for some reason. It seems like they're missing something there, you know.
Dude, when we get into this next draft, and I hate that we're talking about this when we, you know,
So it's
in
a yearly
perfect
tradition,
world-
dude. It's November. This is what we talk in
I
November.
know, it hurts, but it's like fuck. It's like every time. But dude, I would honestly go for like if there's a really good edge, I'd want another edge because I cannot tolerate fucking Clemens. Like I get the whole idea of a rookie quarterback, but we've been through this how many years? Like I mean, Tyson, you've been going back to this for decades, and it's like I'd rather just take a decent vet. You know, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get anyone crazy. To get Joe Burrow, we're probably giving up 3 first-round picks to get him. As great as it would be, I would rather just get all the positions that we need taken care of, addressed, and just get someone decent enough to execute the playbook. Because people give Tanner shit, but I mean, he got people open. Mitchell dropped the ball, but I mean, he had a lot of space where he could make those like catches, you know. So I don't think he's a bad play caller. It's just we don't have a good quarterback.
He's
right
handcuffed with a horrible quarterback.
Yep.
Like that's the
It
problem.
reminds me of Mike LaFleur with Zach Wilson, right?
Yeah.
It does it not feel that way?
It does feel like that.
You know, with Mike White, he played pretty well. He's not elite.
With Josh
but-
Johnson,
Even
with
Josh,
Flacco.
Josh Johnson. Only,
And it's
everybody
like, I
could
don't
run the
wanna kick
system
him
except
out.
Zach.
Because we're not even like seeing his full potential because of Fields. And I'm not going to knock him. He's getting a lot of shit, but it's the honest truth. We just don't have anybody. But then it's like you let go of Rodgers, and Rodgers isn't that great. But, you know, like, what options did we have? Fields was like the only one that was really like realistically the most
Yeah,
decent.
they took their shot, dude. They tried it. It didn't work. But now it's like you want to see what Aaron Smith can do. Like, and I know Tyrod Taylor's not the end all be all, but at least he can throw the ball. Like that's all. We're not asking. Like, we're not asking for 400 yards a week. We're asking for 180. Like that's like right. It's not.
If the fucking Tyrod could get us into the playoffs, he'd be like a god. I swear to God, it would never happen.
7
But
wins.
that would be so funny if that happened.
Jeez.
Because
So where are you located now, man?
I'm still in Yokosuka. I'm about an hour away from Tokyo. Yeah, so I'm on like an early lunch. Almost 11 o'clock, 10:47 for me.
So you're November 18th where you're at.
Yeah,
right?
I know, man.
That's so wild, dude.
I'm getting
funny.
closer to the game. Yeah, for sure. But it's good seeing you guys, man. I miss you guys. Like it's weird seeing like not the phone calls every Monday. Like Sunday for you, but yeah, basically. So it's it's cool to kind of see you guys are still doing it though. But I appreciate you guys for sure. And,
Have a good day, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy, guys. Later. Love you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good one.
He usually comes in all fired up and cursing and stuff. He's like, calm down. The Jets have taken away his hyperness. He's just like, I'm all right. No big deal. Now you want a guy that's really animated, a guy that brings complete fury week in and week out. Look at this guy. This is what it's all about right here. This is just
the fury just comes right out. I'm telling
he's
you.
like the Dan Campbell of YouTubers. This guy right
That's
here.
it, yeah. Well, yesterday I looked like him. He was just watching the game. He wasn't doing too good yesterday.
He had a
I mean,
rough
more.
day.
I think he's going for another 4th down.
Yeah,
and not getting it.
yes.
No.
Yeah, no, that
He was
wasn't
like
good for
just
him
like
yesterday.
punch drunk. Like keep going for it. Like fuck
Yep.
field goals. We don't need field goals. We're gonna keep
Yeah, no.
going for it.
Hi,
Who
Armand.
needs points?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Wonderful, dude. They benched Justin Fields.
Yeah,
We're playing the
Season's
Ravens.
back.
What can go wrong?
Season's back on.
Ravens haven't been playing well either.
Oh, please.
This will be their
I'm not
run
gonna beat
games.
them,
get
but they haven't
ready.
been playing well either. But
I'd like to not be playing well and winning games. I wouldn't mind that problem.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the benching of Fields? You think it was about time?
well, it was about time several games ago. But we'll see. We'll see how long this lasts.
But would you make Brady Cook the backup?
I would, but I don't think he will.
And why
He
not?
would have to
Because
name
they
him.
just-
He would have to name him the backup.
Why not? Why not do it? Like, what's the purpose of having Fields being the backup quarterback? He's not good. Like, he's not good at this point.
I get it, but he's already protecting him. He feels bad putting him behind Tyrod, and now you make him number 3. That's
Who gives a shit about his feelings? Though?
He
Like, why do
does.
we always think about Justin Fields?
he
But
does.
he's not going
I'm
to be here
saying
next
that.
year. Who cares?
He does.
But why does he care?
I don't
It's a
know
mistake.
why, but he's showing that he does. I'm
It's
just saying.
stupid though.
I agree with you. You know, your team comes first, not the individual. You know,
Like enough with this guy already.
but I mean, you got to be held. You know, he's got to be held accountable. You can't
I
just
agree.
do 52 other guys held accountable except for this guy. But you know, yeah, he's a young kid, but he's not doing it.
So do you think so what you've seen so far from the Jets, do you see signs of improvement from Aaron Glenn?
Not yet. No, not yet.
Nothing.
No, it's right now there is disarray, you know, trying to win games and guys are getting hurt, guys are out of position. I mean, with Thomas getting hurt puts other guys out of position. That's why Brownlee's been having bad games. I think he's out of position.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. I mean, he's trying. He's just got to worry about the team. You know, just take the press conferences and just answer a few questions and get out of there.
Yeah.
You don't need to focus on that as a head coach. You know, just give him a few answers. But yeah, he needs to focus on his team and on his coaching staff at this point. Okay,
Yeah, less energy
He's
with the
gotta
media.
know-
The battle he's trying
He's
to fight.
got to
all the
know
time.
where they're good, where they're average, and where they're below at this point. You know,
Yeah.
so and he's got to make they've got capital, but you know, I'm liking what Muji's doing, but like who's going to be? How is this draft position wise? How's the draft in 2027 position wise? Because those are your 2 big years because of the amount of draft capital you have. We have 13 picks this year.
Yep.
We got 2 7th rounders for compensation, right? So let's see. I definitely want a quarterback this year. I just something about not wasting a year without getting a quarterback.
Okay, so does that mean you have to go with your first pick? Like you want to go for Mendoza or you want somebody else?
It's too early to tell because guys come up after the season's over. All of a sudden, other guys. Depends on who stays back and stays in school and who
I
comes
think a lot of
out.
these guys are going to go back.
And then we'll see the combines. We'll see all this, and then all of a sudden, guys come out of nowhere.
Zach Wilson 2.0, right?
Yeah, the combine and the pro day throws that all the GMs will get fooled on.
Right. So too early to tell because we don't know what's going to be available at that, and we don't know where we're picking either. If Tyrod doesn't win any games and they put in Brady Cook, chances are we're going to be high up there.
Yeah. And we're going to be high. So it's even
and you also got the one game between the Titans and New Orleans. That's a big game for us.
the Jets Saints is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
That's when you start pulling all your starters.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Their quarterback is starting to play well.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
My
So
guy.
let's see. But but we have a lot of spots to fill.
Yep.
I love to see how these 2 guys, Mechie and Mitchell, play. The talent. There's talent there. Get yourself with the second pick, you got to go for a guy like Bell as a wide receiver, big tall guy. As a solid number 2, or work him into solid 2. If you want to draft the center, you're not going to get Linderbaum. I don't expect.
I remember I want the Jets to draft Linderbaum way back when. Remember that?
But that's what I wanted to. That's what I too. I mean, we got a lot of money, but we also say we'll get this guy, and they all end up signing back with their team. So let's be realistic about it.
He's one of those
forget about this Burrow thing. You spend all that money on 2 wide receivers, and you're going to get rid of your
he
franchise
loves those
quarterback,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
And eating all that.
So I'm going to start my Jalen Hurts campaign then.
He ain't going anywhere either. The only one I see, and they talk, I don't know, even Kyler Murray.
No.
Don't know if they.
What about Mac Jones?
It's a 1-year thing just to be a bridge for about half a season if you draft your quarterback because you want to put him in. What kills all these teams. You with a rookie quarterback, if you want to start, you've got 4 to maybe 5 years of his contract, so you want to get him in as much time as you can right now. So I just hope they make good picks, good positions, linebacker, safety. We need defensive tackle. We need an edge.
So what you're saying is we're not one player away. Is what you're saying?
Oh no, by far. But we got picks. and we got cash, and
Great.
that makes a big difference.
Touchdown
Yeah.
Cowboys, by the
Yes.
way. CeeDee Lamb with a touchdown, 18-yard touchdown.
Yeah, we
That
don't
was
need
always so
don't need
funny
that.
about.
We need no. We need that too. We need them to lose too because we got their second round pick this year, right? Yeah. I need Indianapolis and Dallas to keep losing. I want our picks to be high.
Gardner
Yes.
Minshew mentioned. That's a yearly tradition. We mention him.
Yeah, that's true.
And-
He really
It's like
should be.
Brissett, him, Jacoby Brissett. We mention the
Yeah.
same guys every year.
That's like they're on just a rotating, almost jet quarterback carousel.
That's exactly. You know,
Jimmy G was on there for a little while.
Yep.
exactly.
So, Afram, so what you're telling me now is you have no faith that Glenn's improving right now.
Right now, I'm in a hiatus with him. I got to see
He
more.
is.
And
You're on break.
Yeah, I want a break. All right, I'm just going to watch what he's doing and take it from there. There's nothing.
Well, can you translate that for me? Right now, he's on a hiatus. Can you translate Afram for me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's on a hiatus.
Right now, I'm just watching the games. I'm not.
I'm on a hiatus too. Then
Yeah, you have to be. What are you going to look for? You guys just see improvement on guys at this point. You're seeing the same shit every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you're supposed to be an analyst. You're a YouTuber.
No, I'm not. Who
You're
said
an
I'm an
analyst.
analyst? I just
You're
come
an
on to say-
analyst. You're supposed to be sharing your thoughts on.
All of a sudden, I'm a
either you're getting
capmaster,
better
an
or you're getting
analyst.
worse. You're never staying the same.
I'm
You're
this
never
every
staying the
week.
same.
I got a different job with you.
But there's nobody stays the same. You either get better or you're getting worse. What is Glenn doing?
I don't think I haven't seen it worse or better. How's that?
You may look a little closer, my friend. You need more precision on your analysis.
Only thing I could say is they're playing for him.
That's
a good
progress.
sign. Okay. Well, let's see.
Okay,
how
here's
well
the
they do.
question. So you're the cap guy. What's the savings to cut Fields? Because this number is all over the internet today.
So you cut him. You give him a post June 1st designation because you're allowed to, and you save yourself 10 mil. If you
But still
don't, you
cap
take
it,
a
though.
big hit.
Yep.
And Sherwood's going to cost you about $15 to $20 million if you cut him.
If you're on hiatus, who's watching our salary cap numbers?
Ah,
I mean, I wouldn't say great. You hear what he's on a hiatus right now. What
I'm
analyst goes on a
hiatus.
break?
What do you want? Yeah,
Part of the season, he's taking a break.
I'm taking
What are
a
we doing
break.
here?
What would you be doing at this point?
Listen, me and Bub's trying to break it down, trying to find answers.
Yeah,
You're
you
just giving up.
break it down. It's the same shit every week.
You're giving
unfortunately.
see that, and that's the problem. That mindset is the problem. Which
But it
same old shit.
is. It's not under our control, right?
What?
We can't change what's going on in the field. We could only
Of course we
report-
can. We can come up with
We
plans.
could
like
always
plans of
only
action.
report what we see, you know.
He plays. So, Bubs, do you think after watching the full game, or he's doing a V man?
No, I watched
Just
the
watching
full
the
game.
highlights.
No, I watched the full game.
The good old V man.
I still root.
Man
for the
hasn't
team.
called it in a while.
He
I
hasn't.
still root for the team, and I still, I want them to win, but you also got in the back of your mind maybe they should lose, because you want that, you want the best possible pick. You want to get,
All aboard the tank.
best team going forward. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's a catch-22 because you want to lose because you want that high pick because that's where
But they have enough resources to move up, but they really wanted somebody.
But do you?
badly.
That's what bothers me. I hate to give up a lot of resources just to move up for something like that.
Well, I mean, do you
Especially
want
when
to
you
see
have
this
other,
young
when
team
you have
fight?
other positions you need to fill.
Well, I guess.
So it's.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
Ephraim, I
thing.
hope that-
you have to. What are you going to sacrifice? What are you trying to sacrifice for one player that or that you're not sure of, or he's just he's the cream of the crop right now? You
Yep.
know,
Salute the tank.
Well, Ephraim, I just want to make sure that you enjoy the rest of your hiatus. I
I'm
know
going to
it's
be on
very important
hiatus
to
for
you.
the rest. I've got what are we at?
It's-
8 and
So, Bubs,
2
now we
and
can know.
9?
Don't worry about our cap numbers from him.
We
'Cause he's on
got-
break for the rest of the year. So
Top number. We're 99 million right now.
he's not going to be accurate.
We're 99 million, and
They said we could have like 200 million in 2027.
2027. You have 200 because all of
Could you
that,
imagine?
money from Rogers, Quinnen, a little bit of Mosley, all that
Yep.
goes away.
I still wish they just.
But it won't
Especially
be
with the way this
200
year went.
million. It'll-
Should just put it all this year.
Yeah, they should have just taken. I don't know why they split the Rodgers across 2 years.
They needed the
That was a
money.
mistake.
We needed the money.
Yeah, but they went dollar store shopping.
Yeah, they did.
That's
You know,
wide receiver.
if they didn't take it, then they would have been Dollar Central, Dollar General shop.
Why are you bringing Jet Central into this? What are you talking about?
You could bring it tomorrow. The Dollar General in, and then you guys would have been all said, "This is ridiculous." Why did they not split that over 2 years? It's the same story every year. So.
Afram's so defeated, man. You can
I'm not
see it.
defeated.
You're
I just there's nothing. Listen. When you have no control of it, what am I supposed to do?
Then why even watch if you have no control over it?
Because it's my team.
So what does that mean? You're just a
I'm
victim.
a fan. I'm a fan. I'm
It's
a
like victim mentality. Well, I can't change. I'm considering just endure it.
No, but I could watch the game and root for my team.
So
you
just
can't
root.
do that.
You
can't separate the two.
I mean, I could very easily do that, but I
Then-
still
then-
want to
then
find
do it.
answers.
Yeah,
You've given up on finding answers now.
But what answers am I going to get right now?
But you got to find them. They don't just fall in your lap,
Find them when they come out.
right?
You can't
Can
look
believe
in
he's
deep when
quitting,
you're not
Bub? He's
seeing
really
it.
quit.
You can't find something when
This
you
is
can't see
this
it.
is like you're like a typical Jet problem right now. Just
You
quitting on
can't
things.
find anything if you can't see it.
When the going
It's
gets
not
tough, Afram gets going. Psh, I'm out. I'm on
Okay.
break.
I
Hiatus.
can't dig deep into something that I have no shovel.
You have to dig deep.
Okay.
Go watch the tape.
I watched the game. That's enough tape for me.
See, see,
Okay.
we're getting. This is just the.
I
this is the
don't
B
have to
team.
watch the tape because everyone says everybody's wide open.
This is some
kid can get to-
afterburner shit right now. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
You always got to throw that in there.
I'm just saying.
You
it's
always got to zing that dig.
Just-
That's all you do.
just trying to figure out what's going on around
You
here.
perfected that. Where's your screaming goat, by the way?
Oh, right here.
Hey, I'm surprised you haven't used it yet. Yeah,
I got a sheep too. Hold on a second.
I know you got a sheep. You got a jackass?
Well, now go enjoy your hiatus, man. It was good talking.
I
to you.
will. I will. Believe me. I will watch
Hopefully,
my
you
games.
have a better
and,
attitude next week when you a little
what's
positivity
better-
on the show.
What kind of attitude do you want me to have? This
Just
is
be more enlightened, more positive. Trying to just
But
like
what
you're.
positive can I give you than what we see on TV?
But you can find answers, find
Oh my
solutions.
God, you're back to the same. You see,
Anybody can sit and be like, "Well, everything sucks. We got to see what." No, just
no,
find
I'm not
answers.
saying it's just nothing's changed. You understand?
Seems
Am I
like it changed a
speaking
little
well?
bit.
There's nothing has changed.
The penalties have gotten better.
It's the same thing. It's the script is the same. We all know it. He can't throw. They won't throw to Brees. They run the ball. They make a stupid mistake at a given time.
Then why even watch the games? This attitude. I mean, what are we doing?
Because
here?
you hope that one time.
Hope is not a plan.
Hey, listen. I have 4 different teams I watched.
Look, you're
that-
bringing Bubs down. Bubs joined in. He was smiling. Now he's all defeated.
He
now.
wasn't smiling. What are you
He's
talking
defeated
about?
now
He wasn't
'cause of you.
smiling. He's smiling now. Before the opening monologue you guys had, it was he wasn't happy, but he's
Quinn
hoping
Williams
for
got
the
a sack
best.
just now. You happy for him?
There you go. What a
Are you
world.
happy for him?
Yes. For Quinn, sure.
All right. Just think you still have happiness in your life. That's important.
Yeah. Are you happy for him?
I am. I'm good for
Then
him.
okay.
They start winning over there.
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't have.
you
I don't
know,
have that. I don't have that cold heart, Afram.
You sure about that? Hit the goat. There you
Have
go.
a good night, man.
Be good, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.
What's up, man?
Hey guys, this is an interesting one. Listening to Afram over there, I kind of understand where he's coming from. I'm getting to that point too. I'm almost numb.
You're on
when I watch
hiatus
the
too.
split screen. I don't get excited. I don't get upset anymore because it's just like we
All right,
know
so
the
wait, hold
team
on.
isn't that
So
good.
the opening drive and the Jets scored a touchdown against the Patriots. You weren't excited a little bit?
A little bit, but even then, I mean, it took a bit of luck for that to happen. The stupid defender had to fall down for him to hit him with a pass. I mean, it was just like, it's gotten to be, you knew what was going to come. You just kind of knew it with this team. You asked about, it was interesting after Afram, what he thinks of Glenn. And I said, well, there were improvements. The fact that we don't have people talking on social media, we don't have people undercutting or rumors coming out about this one hates that one. And that's actually a pretty good sign because this is a really ugly year.
Yeah, but don't you think today's leak is kind of weird to me that it got out that Tyrod's starting and Justin Fields, like that the way Aaron Glenn handles it, for this to get out today just seemed kind of weird because now you had players answering questions about it. It was like Harrison Phillips and somebody else had to answer questions about it, which is that's kind of off brand for Aaron Glenn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know what that kind of, I wondered about that, like why it got broken that way. You know, I could see rumors coming out, but why it got broken that way and was it leaked? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think in terms of the team itself, they really are fighting out there. I mean, they're not giving up. I know the difference. They're not giving up or anything. And given how bad it's been, I mean, it's frustrating. It's got to be frustrating on Brees has to be going crazy.
Yep.
You know, even the receivers to a certain extent, because Taylor wants to catch the ball, and you got a quarterback that's dead.
That's a good one.
But, you know, you can't – they're holding together that way, which is good. The team itself, honestly, it looks like shit. I mean, it's just a bunch of pieces. I'm glad they bench Fields because they've got to get something out there. I don't have a hope that they're going to win many games. That's not the point. First of all, that we have a little bit of fun. At least we'll maybe have one or two plays that are a lot of fun. Maybe Tyrod Taylor, maybe they'll pull a flea flicker or something and they'll score a touchdown just to have some fun. Ground and pound football is boring as hell. It's like watching a Tony La Russa, I'm dating myself, a Tony La Russa baseball game. I was once at a game for 4 hours with him managing the other side in a Mets game, and it was painful. And it's just as bad. We need to get so hopefully there'll be some life there. I don't have that much hope. As you put it, I'm not hoping that Tyrod's going to put 450 yards up. If he puts 186 yards and they get a couple of touchdowns, I'll be happy with that.
And you can see an offense that has some rhythm, can flow. The wide receivers, you can use them more like Mechie, Mitchell. Like okay, now we can see a vision for Engstrand because as of right now, he's an unknown after all these games because the quarterback handcuffed him. And that to me is a concern when you want to add in another piece next year. It's like, all right, we're going to hand over whatever. We're going to hand over this team to Mendoza when we don't really know what Engstrand is. And that maybe he's good. Maybe he's got this. Maybe let's know what he is. And hopefully Tyrod can help answer that a little bit by showing an offense that's functional.
Yeah, I think, and it's for a lot of reasons. I think it gives the offensive line because you've got somebody that may get into something of a rhythm. And you know what? If Tyrod throws a couple of interceptions, I don't care. I'm not necessarily looking to win a game because it means he's throwing downfield. You know, you just get tired of it. I mean, and how the hell they could justify with Fields, the guy to have so many 50-yard games, and they gave numbers. I think it was
Connor Hughes did it.
Connor Hughes did it. Somebody else did it. You know, Wilson had like 2 games like that in his whole tenure here and stuff like that. And he was the worst. It's not there. I think with Glenn, it remains to be seen because I want to see what he does with this going down the road, right? So how does he handle this? Do they start, for example, playing guys off the practice squad? Do we start seeing some of those young guys we thought were really decent in preseason? Let's see what they look like. Get out of this mentality like, I don't know what his mentality is, man. I know he wants to win. I understand that. You don't tank. But you know what? You've got all these young players. You're trying to see how they're going to work. You want to see what you've got. We've got to get those evaluations
especially when you have guys that aren't going to be here next year. Like Alan Lazard's not going to be here next year. Pretty good chance Michael Clemens is not going to be here next year. Then the last 4 or 5 games of the year, empty the bench out, dude. Like guys that are definitely going to be here next year because why assess what you already know? Some of these guys, what they are. They're not going to be here. They're gone.
Yeah, I mean, having Alan Lazard out there, having him even on the roster at this point,
it's a joke.
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. There's no reason for it. Nope. And you've got to figure out what you got because you're rebuilding. I mean, basically, they've got to know that so they go into the next season and say, okay, I know what I've got. Here's what I need to fill. You have to evaluate that. And you couldn't do that with the way they were playing. You just couldn't do it. I think there's more evaluations that I've said this before. The coaching staff has to be evaluated.
Completely agree.
I mean, how the hell, if you're going to get a young quarterback in there, I don't care whether they're starting or not. You need someone to develop. You're going to have Charles London do it. Come on, guys. Give me a break.
Nope.
And then on defense, I'm tired of hearing the defenses of Wilkes. It's telling. I looked at somebody. I said, think about this one. Wilkes at San Francisco, they had the number 1 ranked defense. He inherited the number 3 because The year before, Ryans had built them up. They were a number 3 defense. They were number 1 under him. But yet Shanahan kicked them out. And the
Yep.
reason was very simply because he didn't do anything with the defense.
It was too predictable.
And they went to the Super Bowl and they got trashed because the
Yep.
defense got trashed. It's what he is. The guy is not, and you look at his record, he's just not. He's not considered an innovative guy. He's not considered one of the better ones.
Nope.
I mean, I was okay with them hiring because I said, well, he's got experience, right?
Yeah.
He's got experience as a head coach, which again, you can say is dubious, but he still had experience as a head coach. And yet, he just not. And I know that the team, there, you can question the personnel. I keep hearing, oh, it's people, it's the personnel. I'll give Sal a lot of things. I'll bitch about him, but he got a lot out of some players that
Not
Wilkes
last year they
couldn't
did.
even
Not the
get
last year and a half they didn't.
yeah, it's and I'm wondering, I mean, the defense right now is what scares me because you've got some players like, was it Briggs, whatever his name is, he
Briggs.
looks decent.
Yep.
He looks like a solid core piece. You've got
Harrison Phillips.
JJ is
Yeah.
fairly decent.
Phillips is solid. Yeah.
You got Phillips is looking halfway decent. You've got McDonald. I mean, they've got some things in the front. They still need people there.
They're gonna need like 2 linebackers. They're gonna need another defensive end. They need a
I
lot.
don't know,
Safety.
Safety.
2 or 3 linebackers because Quincy's not going to be here.
Nope.
Are they going to
Ideally-
keep Sherwood? Unless Sherwood's got some kind of an injury or something like
It's
that,
just terrible.
Sherwood's looked horrible. If Glenn keeps him, it's not going to look that good because the guy has been terrible.
Yeah, but like that, like that's I hate that point though. It's like, well, they paid him, they got to keep using him. Own the mistake, similar to Justin Fields' mistake. Like, listen,
I agree. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. He can't. So Sherwood is an unknown. Quincy's not going to be here. I think he's going to walk, even if they tried,
Yeah, he's gone.
even if they said we want him, which
He's
I'm
definitely
sorry
gone.
about because I like Quincy a lot. He makes mistakes. He does some stupid things, but he's a fiery player. He could be a heart of a good linebacking core. He's not going to be here. So we've got to rebuild the defense. The secondary, we've got no safeties. I mean, Moore maybe, and he's an unknown.
Yeah.
Tony Adams will be gone. Cisco will be gone.
Tony Adams is terrible. He's gone.
Like
Yeah, they're gonna
Adams,
need
forget it.
somebody opposite of Moore and in depth too, because like Isaiah Oliver's they brought him back, but he's not coming back. Like Isaiah Oliver's,
And then
he doesn't do
you know,
anything.
obviously with corner. I mean, Stevens, ironically, is looking much, much better. We thought he was garbage. He's looking
Yeah.
better.
Well,
I don't know
hopefully,
if he'll
AZ Thomas
continue.
comes back this Sunday too. You go AZ Thomas play the rest of the year. Then you
Yeah.
have
Hopefully.
him. You got Brownlee. You got Stevens. Hopefully, that's
Yeah.
your secondary.
Hopefully, yeah. They may still need a corner, though. I don't know. It depends. But you've got all those problems. Offensively, you need receivers, obviously. We have some young guys that look good. Smith might still turn out to be good if you got a quarterback that can throw to him. But we've still got a lot of questions. Offensive line is another question. Do you keep AVT?
Nope. No, but
If you're
you
gonna do it.
you have Tippmann. Like you can go Membu, Tippmann, right? I think you need a center. I bring back Simpson. That's fine. Like,
Well, that was the question. Do we get,
Yeah.
is Tippmann better a guard or center?
I think
Do we
guard.
bring in a center? Simpson, we don't know. He played well last year. He's not so great this
Not
year.
this year.
So they're going to probably try to get a left guard and a center. So you got to draft those guys. You can draft those in the draft pretty deep. It's
So
not
many
that
players.
hard,
Is
but it's a lot of pieces. It's a lot
Yeah.
of pieces. They've got to get them. They've got to meld them together, which is also why, again, the coaching staff. It's also not just the coordinators. It's also the deeper coaches. Who are your secondary coaches? If I would fire them on the spot, the secondary has been atrocious.
Well, Brandon
Obviously.
Stevens has actually been playing much better than we thought he was going to play.
Hmm?
Especially if you have like Malachi Moore playing well, AZ Thomas,
Yeah,
Brandon
AZ
Stevens. Good.
yeah, AZ Thomas. No, not to cut you off, but AZ Thomas in the little amount of playing time he's got has looked good. It's just the concussion's unfortunate. I think Malachi Moore's been good, and Brownlee, he struggled playing outside. He's ideally those 3 guys could stay healthy, and he just gets time in the nickel, and that's really a better evaluation of what Brownlee is, as opposed to an outside corner where I mean, Jasir Taylor was getting snaps on Thursday night. Like he's not. They're like, what are we doing here? So
Yeah,
they
that's terrible.
you need AZ to be back healthy, Stevens and then Brownlee, and see what you got there in the next 7 games.
Yeah, my take with it was just the coordination back there wasn't good. Now, again, you can blame Wilkes' scheme, and maybe that's part of it. But you have to evaluate all your coaches, and that's all I'm going to see Glenn do that. If they don't, given how bad things have been, if he doesn't replace coaches, that's not a good sign, especially going in
Yeah,
where
you
you've got a
can't
young
stand
quarterback.
Pat. Absolutely not.
I'm not saying fire Engstrand. I am not.
No.
That's what I also want to see with Tyrod. I want to see what Engstrom can do.
Yep.
Because his play calling with Fields, quite honestly, you look at it and say, "What the hell is he doing?" It was like high school football.
Yeah, but like, I just think like Engstrom he's like an incomplete because we don't know what he's like. You see how bad Fields gets where he can't complete certain passes. He's like, all right, can't call this play, can't call this play. And then the comment that Glenn made drove me crazy was like, he's like, well, we don't want to run Fields too much because he may get hurt. The reason why you signed him was for his athletic ability, his ability to run, and now you say don't want to run too much because he may get hurt. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, it's just like the more he talks, the more problems he creates for himself. Like
that's the thing. And my real question with Glenn, and the reason I'm trying to stay as optimistic as I can. I have no control over anything anyhow. So the point is, I can't change anything, right?
He said, this is what Afron's done to us now. Now he's saying the same shit. Thanks for calling
I
it,
can't man. But the point with Glenn is, what worries me about him is, I know this thing with the press conferences, they make a big deal about it. I don't care about the reporters. That's their job. They want to get snippy. I've seen coaches do that. What bothers me with Glenn, though, is what comes up behind it. There's an arrogance there. And that's what worries me. Another coach would have said with Fields, look, it's obvious the guy doesn't have it. He's having trouble. Let's figure out what to do. Now, it could be you're right that Tyrod wasn't available. Yep. We don't even know. They might have said he was available. Who the hell knows? He might be limping around the practice facility.
Yeah, that just seemed like that was the case. Like they're ready to make the change. Tyrod got hurt, and now they got stuck. But thanks for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Have a good one.
This is what Afron's done to us. Now he was on hiatus too. Grumpy's always got all this energy. Now Afron's got everybody. Oh, we're on break now. I'm just watching the games. Oh, I don't. What the fuck?
Gotta search for solutions.
How y'all doing?
You're not a hiatus, are you, man?
No. No. I promise. I promise. Even though
if anybody's looking for a quick score up
rebuild. I just want to bring up the fact that this feels very, very familiar to the 2021 draft, where except this time we don't have a quarterback. But I just want to bring this fact up. We had Sam Darnold in his third year before the draft started. And this was an interesting point that I was able to realize. In that draft, we drafted Zach Wilson due to the pro day throw that he made over players like somebody like Jamar Chase. And then I think in that same draft, they also drafted AVT. And I'm like, I'm not saying Jamar Chase would have been great with us or whatnot, but if we was able to build around Sam Darnold, because look at how he's doing now. I mean, I'm not saying he would have been like that on the Jets, but we never really surrounded Darnold with the pieces because he was only in his third year, but they were so worried about paying him once his fifth year.
Well, yeah, because they missed on. You got Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penny Sewell, Patrick Surtain, Devontae Smith, Micah Parsons,
Fields.
Well, let's not even talk about Fields in this sense.
But to be fair, though, like when the whole Zach Wilson thing happened, we were all high on Fields because of the game he had against Clemson.
Yeah,
right? We're like, oh my God, he played so great.
We don't need Trevor. We got Fields.
And then Zach had that workout where he did the whole little spin through, like, oh, we got to get him. He's the next great thing, and we all got bamboozled. And that was also the COVID year, so they had no workouts. They couldn't see shit. Yeah. So it was a disaster.
And the whole college football season was so strange too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, now looking, because even if like what did Glenn improve on? Okay, he improved on, at least making the right decisions defensively. I mean, I guess he decided to bench certain folks. And once I saw like that Brown Lee, once I think there was times Malachi Moore got in.
Yep.
I saw improvements
Tony
on
Adams,
the field.
He benched Quincy Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, there was improvements on the field. The one improvement he should have made was bench Fields in the Denver game because it probably won that game.
100%.
But it's
that would have beat Carolina too if Tyrod had a full week.
But that's the biggest mistake he's made, where he preached accountability the entire time, and the most important player on the team he didn't hold accountable, and that was Fields. That was his biggest problem up until this point. And that could be a first-time head coach trying to learn his way and trying to navigate with his quarterback and be supportive, but it blew up completely in his face.
Yeah, I just don't want to be in the situation where, like, for example, let's say we do draft Mendoza, right? And be in a situation where we immediately start him. I would say
Oh, can't do that.
we can't. We gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
We
Nope.
gotta stop doing that because just find like a veteran that's cheap on the deal. Try to bring him over. Have
But a quality
Mendoza.
veteran though. It can't be like
Yeah,
it can't, like Marcus Mariota's playing down with the Commanders, but like right now, like Fields isn't playable right now. Like you don't want to have a guy that can't even run your offense, right, Bubs? Like
Yeah.
the veteran you bring in is got to be serviceable, competent, an NFL standard quarterback that can actually get in and out of a huddle and complete passes. He can't be a complete bum that's like Trevor Siemian or somebody like that.
Yeah. I'd rather bring Tyrod back than as your veteran than Fields.
Oh yeah, Fields
oh,
can't
yeah.
come back.
Nah,
That's the
nah,
route you
most
take.
definitely. I saw a few names. I saw Mariota. Well, not Mariota. I saw Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones, Kyler
I'm not
Murray. Yeah.
I'm not very high on Minshew because
Nah,
he-
Minshew's.
nah,
His
I'm-
time
I'm
is come and
done.
gone, I think.
Who
That
else?
was she's
They're saying
another
they're also
one.
saying Kirk Cousins too, because Kirk Cousins is now going to get plenty of playing time in Atlanta. Maybe he can resurrect himself, which he
I
blew
don't
himself a
see
few
that
years ago.
happening. I definitely don't see that happening. Yeah, if who's competent? Because I swear we're the same team that'll see reports of Kyler Murray and we decide to trade for him, which would be absolutely insane
Yeah, I don't
because
want
the
nothing to do
man
with
can't
Kyler
see
Murray.
over an offensive line. So he's better than Fields, at least throwing the ball, but
Yeah, you had what's it? The Panthers had like an Andy Dalton. And Andy Dalton's the kind of guy all right, he's older, but he can at least run your offense, play football. Like he's not a complete liability. It's just like 3 and out every time. Like,
yeah.
but it's got to be a little bit a younger version of Andy Dalton would be fine with me.
Hey man, all I'm saying is they better get this right, otherwise it's just gonna be they really have to end this shit. I'm tired of
These
going
next
through.
2 years are going to define the next 5 years for the Jets, man.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
10, right, Bubs? I mean, this is
Yeah.
when you have this much draft capital and this much cap space where you could have $200 million in 2027. If you do not hit over the next 2 years and restock this roster to a championship caliber team, you're buried for 5 years.
Yep, because
Yeah.
New England's on the scene and Buffalo's the powerhouse for the next 5 to 10 years. So
And Miami is a desirable location because who doesn't want to coach down in Florida? Like South. It's like
oh, yeah,
it's a
it's
team
warm
that's
down
going to
there.
spend
Yeah.
money. Like they're going to be turning around too.
Hey man, we'll go through the pain and suffering. So my hat's off to everybody.
Have a good night, man.
You as well.
Yeah, these next couple of years, man, are probably too. Like we always say, this is the biggest off season
Yeah,
for
the
the
biggest
Jets.
off.
But now it's like when
Yeah.
it comes down to fixing your quarterback problem and restocking your roster with crew with this high value, man.
Yeah, it's 9 picks on day 1 and day 2 over the next 2 drafts. 8 of those in the first 2 rounds. 5 first-round picks. This has got to be you've got to find your building block cornerstone pieces. You've got to find your quarterback. If you do, it sets yourself up for success for the next decade. If you don't, you're Glenn's and Mooj, you're out of here in 2 years and you're back to square one, no quarterback. At that point,
Yep.
you're probably paying guys that didn't work out on their free agent contracts, and you're working with 5 draft picks that didn't pan out. So it would be a train wreck for the next general manager to come in here. It would almost be kind of what Douglas walked into after Gaze, where it'd be like a
100%.
full-scale rebuild with just no talent. Like at that point too, like Garrett, any remnants of this core, Jermaine, those guys are gonna be out the door if this continues. So it's
And here's a perfect example. The guy I wouldn't definitely not want is Russell Wilson. The
No.
guy I wouldn't have minded is Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
But he's under contract next year with the Giants. Jameis is the perfect guy, dude. He's gonna give you some good, some bad. He's gonna run the team. He's a good leader, good character guy, and he gets along great with Jackson Dart. That's the kind of guy that's helps your young quarterback.
looking back on this offseason, Jameis could have been the move too. As that 1 year stopgap where
100%.
I guess Fields' ceiling was higher than Jameis. That's
Look at the price tag, dude. Look at the price. Was
Yeah.
significantly different.
Yeah, $30 million for a glorified Zach Wilson or more athletic
Oh,
Zach
an
Wilson.
interception from Geno Smith. What is he doing?
That's what his 12th on the season.
So it's 17-6 Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb's got a touchdown. Jake Ferguson's got a touchdown. Geno just threw a pick. All right, Bubs. We did an hour and a half. We didn't mention one thing about the Jets-Ravens game on Sunday. Your level of confidence. Do you think that the Ravens are coming on? They're still in the hunt. The AFC North bouncing back. Lamar Jackson's healthy. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm not too confident. I think Tyrod, they'll stretch the field. But it's, I mean, what, a 1 or a 2 out of 10, a 0, about the same. The defense is going to struggle. I think it's going to be a big day for Lamar, Derrick Henry on the ground.
Yeah, the Jets run defense and get destroyed.
Yeah, they're going to get smoked on the road. AFC North opponent. It's going to be ugly. It's, yeah, not pretty. I mean, it'll be more entertaining than Fields.
I was almost going to go to this game. I love going to Baltimore. I love the stadium. I love the fans. I love the bars all around, like the Inner Harbor. Such a good time. I almost went this game. Like, what am I, nuts? They're going to get destroyed. Like, there's no way they're just going to get manhandled, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. They're probably one win left. You beat like Atlanta or New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo's not resting their starters the last week of the season, so you can forget about that game.
Dak just
it's ugly. 3-14.
I think they get 4 wins somehow. Maybe. No, I think it's probably 4, which is pathetic.
Yeah. Either way, it's splitting hairs.
So you've been cranking it, even in this lost season. You're cranking out all kinds of content, man. Tell me where you're making your content at.
Yeah, appreciate you having me back on. But yeah, over at YouTube, Bubs on Sports.
Wait, hold on. One second. Now look at Afram. Tyson, are you going to watch the Ravens game? Afram, unlike you, I'm going to watch it and try to find answers and try to find glimmers of hope and reasons to believe in something, as opposed to being in a hiatus and just sitting there like, they can win, they can lose. They can just not show up. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, sorry, Bubs.
Gotta try and search for the solutions.
That's right. Be a part of the answer, not the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, over on YouTube, Bubs on Sports, just Jets content, previews, post-game shows, or recap shows, I should say, just recap pods. Weekly episodes, news. Had an episode go out earlier today about the Fields benching for Tyrod, so any stuff like that. And then also over the Jet Press, weekly articles, preview articles after the game, midweek articles, and any news topics that come to mind. So all of that good stuff.
So now, but see, I gave you insight, Afram. You gave us no insight whatsoever. His comment is, you just spewed so much negativity for the game. It's called analysis. I think the Jets can get their asses kicked because they're going to be undermanned, they're going to be outcoached, and their quarterback is probably going to get beat up. I'm not on hiatus. I'm still actively trying to figure out answers, but right now I don't have any for the Ravens game. I think Afram's mad. You think he's mad? Well, thank you guys for joining us. Right now, it's like a quiet time of the year, man. You're coming off like the mini bye, and the Jets, they feel like they lost to Patriots 2 weeks ago. It was only Thursday. And they have a tough matchup on Sunday, so I'm sure we'll get a lot more hot reactions next Monday with the Jets game gets kind of, things go sideways in that one.
Yeah, to get potential blowout. We'll be back to
our doom
fire everybody. Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. Have a good night. Enjoy the Cowboys Raiders, and we'll talk to you next week.
Jet!